The number one trait that separates average guys from the high status men that girls find attractive and who live the best lives is going to be tenacity. Tenacity is the number one trait that will allow you to separate from the pack and live the best possible existence as a man. If you don't have tenacity, you are going to struggle. And I'm going to take you on my journey of not having tenacity and the life that I led, and also having tenacity and what has come out of it in just a second. But to define tenacity, I'm going to define it as self-belief, perseverance, and discipline. Those are the three broader, more easily understandable traits that go into being a tenacious man. If you have these traits, you will succeed and you will get everything that you want in this life, including the most beautiful girl that you want, the life of your dreams. Everything is within your reach if you develop tenacity. And I'm going to be breaking down everything that goes into it, how to develop it, my personal journey in this video. Now let me take you back to younger Seb, the version of myself that existed up until 19 years old before I made my self-development transformation. So this version of myself, to put simply, was a bitch. He lacked tenacity in every single area of his life. So there were so many things I wanted. I wanted to have a hot girl. I wanted to have financial freedom and not have to work a 9-to-5. I wanted all these things, but I didn't put in the work for them. I didn't even really try in these things. And some of the things I would half-ass or not really do. So like I was trying trading to try and be financially free. And I would do it for like 45 minutes after school, some days of the week. And during it, I would still be like looking at my dream car on the side, split screening it whilst doing some sim trading. It's basically just like we're playing the markets. I didn't take things serious. I didn't really give it 110% the way that I do now. And like with girls, I wanted girls, but I was too scared to ever act. I had one girl in my junior year who was interested in me, but I was still so shy and insecure that I couldn't even really comprehend that a girl liked me. And I still somehow managed to mess it up when I had all the chances in the world to make it happen. Like going back in time, it was so easy, so obvious. She gave me like a million chances to try and make this happen. And I messed up every single one of them. And it was just, I lacked that self-belief. That's one of the key areas of being tenacious, is self-belief. I didn't believe that I could have a girl who liked me. And she was a very attractive girl. But it's just like I messed up in so many areas due to the fact that I lacked tenacity across the board. So it was really just this existence of kind of being a feather in the wind. That's how I like to describe it. It was just, kind of just going with the flow of whatever happened. And I just started to do degenerate things like smoke weed every single day and hang out with my boys, and I did pizza delivery twice a week, and nothing really good was happening with my life. I never was really going after the things that I wanted. I knew I lacked confidence and social skills, I think deep down, but I never read any books to try and learn about it or develop it. It was like I never really took action or did anything to improve those areas of my life. And then let's go to 19 years old. This is where things really changed at the end of 19. So during that year, I had a girlfriend for 3 months. I fell absolutely head over heels in love, and I got broken up with. And there was just this combination of pain that kind of sparked this desire to change. It was the loneliness from having my family move from New York to Florida, and I had no friends there, and I was too scared to put myself out there. That social isolation, just the pain of that, the pain of then getting a girlfriend and getting heartbroken. There was so much like little emotional pains that kind of stacked up, and just kind of being a failure for all of my life too, that made me decide to change. And this is when I took on that self-development transformation, and it absolutely changed everything. And before we go on, one of the things that I developed during this phase of my life was confidence. True internal confidence. This involved discipline. It cultivated self-belief. It did everything that will lead to tenacity. So for that reason, I put together a confidence transformation guide for every single one of you, giving you all the steps that I took at 19 to make this transformation possible, and it's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. So now during my self-development transformation at 19, I was really cultivating the broad sense of tenacity, right? It was self-belief I was building, it was discipline, and it was perseverance, all in pursuit of my goals in a very tenacious manner. That is what I was cultivating in its essence. This is what really changed my life, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it. So one of the first things I decided I wanted to do was be the best version of myself and get over heartbreak, because I was at an all-time low. When I tell you, I was so low, and I just wanted to feel better, and I wanted to be the best version of myself. I wanted to be confident. I wanted to just improve across the board. And I discovered holistic self-improvement, and I decided that was going to be the vehicle that was going to allow me to achieve it. So I went all in. And this is one of the things I'm most proud of in my life, was what I did during that time. Because I cut out all instant gratification, genuinely everything, anything you can think of, all the way down to fucking caffeine, deleted all the social media apps, no porn, no nothing. It was just no instant gratification. And then I incorporated a morning routine of daily disciplined acts like reading, meditating, and gratitude journaling, and also reflective journaling. And these were the things that I started to do consistently to build small daily wins first thing in the morning. I was staying consistent with the gym. And then besides that, it was just cultivating this presence of mind, just really trying to overcome a lot of the things that was going on in my head, because I had so many limiting beliefs, so many confidence issues, so many insecurities. And during this time, that is really what I accomplished. Was I became the best version of myself. Within a few weeks, I started to notice change. And within a few months, I completely changed. I was a new version of myself. I was extremely disciplined. I had a ton of self-belief, and I would persevere towards my goals. So I developed the essence of tenacity. That's really what happened during that time. And there's a lot of other things that went into this journey. Like, for example, towards the end of that transformation, I decided I really wanted to learn social skills. So I picked up a couple different books, like How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read a book on nonverbal communication by an ex-FBI agent. I read Captivate, which is a book on charisma. And then I went to Sweden, where my mom is from. I solo traveled there for 5 weeks to put those skills to the test and try out all the things that I did in a completely new environment where I could be the best version of myself. And that was one of the best things I ever did, because I had a ton of success. I met so many friends. I slept with a bunch of girls. I was treated in a way that was in accordance with the new identity and version of myself that I desired to be. So it really helped me cement that identity and allowed me to move forward being that version of myself with confidence. Not only that I had it within, but I also had it reflected back to me in the external world, the way that I saw it in my mind, the way that I wanted to be. And it was really just this process of internal development to get to that point where I could be tenacious in pursuing my goals. See, when I had no self-belief, I wouldn't try 100% in any of the goals that I had set for myself. I had all these goals, but I would never try 100%. And I had everything, right? But I didn't have the discipline. I never really cultivated true discipline before 19. Because if it was the gym that I was doing, I loved the gym. So it wasn't really discipline. And perseverance, I never really accomplished any goals that I had for myself. I never really persevered in order to achieve those goals. So it was this combination of really just cultivating those traits and being able to apply them first with holistic self-improvement, then it was with social skills and girls, and then I applied it with sales after that, and then I applied it with online business. And don't get me wrong, in many of these things, I had a lot of setbacks, a lot of bumps and bruises. There was one business I tried at 21, which was a complete fail. I failed for 6 months. I made no money. All my finances drained. I was down to zero. And then right after that, I ended up having my Sales Academy business take off. And then I jumped to 8 to 15K per month within a matter of months after that. And it was just this complete turnaround. But the only reason that I was able to succeed with all these different things throughout this journey was that tenacity, right? So it was like after failing a business, I was just on to the next. I saw an opportunity and I took it. I worked extremely hard. I had self-belief it would happen. I had discipline to consistently do the steps every single day, even when I wasn't seeing results. And I was persevering through the hard times. And then boom, I was a success, right? So it's that tenacity that will get you the results that you want in life and make you that high status man that girls find attractive. If you lack tenacity, you're going to struggle in so many different areas. So now, just to break it down and make it extremely clear as to how you can develop tenacity, it was kind of outlined throughout my story, But I really just want to make it extremely, extremely obvious for you so you can apply these steps. And once again, they're going to be outlined in the Confidence Transformation Guide. It carries directly over to building tenacity. But the first thing you need is self-belief. So where does self-belief come from? Well, self-belief comes from you building trust in your word. So when I was doing my morning routine of daily disciplined acts every single day, and I did them no matter what without fail, I was like, holy shit, I actually can stay consistent with something. It was starting with something small for me. Because like I said, I wasn't a confident guy growing up. I was shy, I was insecure, I didn't have a lot of things going for me. So when I started with something small and I was able to stay consistent with it, it cultivated a little bit of self-belief where I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. What else can I do, right? And it just made me feel really good about myself. So it was that building trust in my word. And the other thing was the dopamine detoxing. So it's cutting out instant gratification and focusing on delayed gratification. And then it was this other thing where it's like, holy shit, I can actually be really disciplined and avoid these bad habits, which I've done my entire life, like weed and porn were two of the big ones. And I can stay disciplined with it. I was like, holy shit, this is huge. And then it just all sort of cultivated into self-belief. So that's where it starts with. It starts with building trust in your word and building up small wins for yourself, small internal wins. Now, the next thing is discipline. So you can have discipline in any sense. I just showed you ways that I apply discipline with the dopamine detoxing, but it could be if you hate the gym, like if you hate training, it could be training. I love training, so that doesn't really apply for me. But it could be anything, right? Like, for example, someone could use YouTube as a way of being disciplined. I mean, I like recording videos, I'm not gonna lie, but there's some days where it's just hard to sit down and record a video. I have no ideas flowing in my head. I'm not feeling like the best version of myself, but I do it anyway. So now it's just my discipline's kind of a broader sense of continuing all the good positive momentum that I do. But I would say the biggest one has to be when I wake up in the morning and I'm fucking tired and I don't really want to do my morning routine. So first thing I'll do, I hop, like right now, my current routine where I'm living in this location, it's cold shower, it's reading, meditating, and then gratitude journaling. And once I do that, I'm feeling a lot better about myself. But I really wake up tired. I'm not in the mood to do anything, but I just do it anyway. And that's that discipline displayed, right? So you just got to find some things that you can do that are disciplined acts. That's kind of the key. And the last thing is perseverance. And really what you're going to want to do is set some goals. Set some different goals, some small ones, some medium, some big ones, and tick these off the list. Have things that you're working towards, and then once you accomplish, you're going to feel proud of yourself. So let me give you an example. Let's go back to the basics, right? It could just be do this morning routine that I just outlined for you for 30 days. That could be your first small win that will build that trust in your word and get you some momentum. Your other goal might be land a sales job and make 5K, right? That could be your next goal. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to be comparing yourself to the fucking guys who are all the way in the top of the social media game flexing Bugattis and Lambos and Puganis and Koenigseggs. It's like, that's so unrealistic. That's keeping you down. Make your own small wins and accomplish them and build momentum. And now I'm not saying you're going to get to that level, but I'm also saying you could. I mean, you could get to that level if you wanted to. But start with something small. Start with something that you will be a win for you. And also have those bigger goals, those 3, 6, 12-month goals that you're aiming towards. And once you start achieving these, it's really going to give you so much internal confidence and solidify a lot of those things that you build. So the confidence that I've built really got solidified through the different things that I've accomplished. So like I told you, it started, like we'll kind of skip that phase of the self-development, but the sales, I was kind of shit at sales when I first started. My first job, I made no money. My second job, I broke even because you had to pay for leads. So I kind of just was making enough to pay for the leads and that was it. It was a terrible gig. And then my third job, I found it was just through searching, trying to find different things. This was all in the life insurance industry. I ended up finding a company that had lower commission, but you didn't have to pay for the leads. And here I ended up making about $1,000 a week on average. And this was a huge win for me. So I remember one week I made like 2,000 and I felt just on top of the world. It was like I finally did something that allowed me to succeed. And it was like everyone recognized this, and it was just like I felt so proud of myself and how far I'd come from the old version of myself. So that was kind of solidifying the confidence, the self-belief, and all these things that I had to do. But it was like during this time I also had to do a lot. I did a mentorship, I read some books on sales, and eventually I kept developing it, and to the point where I was able to sell a sales academy program, helping others with sales. And then now I do sales with my personal brand, and ultimately personal branding is the ultimate sale. It's the sale of myself. I have to be able to sit here, communicate ideas, get people to resonate with me. I have to be able to be a good storyteller. There's so many things in personal branding that involve sales. So if I didn't do this whole journey when I was younger to learn sales, I wouldn't be able to sit here and have a personal brand. It just wouldn't work. There'd be so many key components that would be missing that would make me just not be able to do this. So I'm so grateful for learning that. And now I've been able to apply that to this bigger, broader business model, which I believe will take me to just crazy levels of success and wealth. So it's this constant evolution of being tenacious, of having self-belief that you can accomplish anything, of being disciplined to stick the course and do the things when you're not seeing results, and persevering towards your goals. That's really what it's all about. So these are the key traits that are going to lead to you being a tenacious man who's just going to be undeniably attractive to girls and get everything that you want in this life. So once again, if you want to start developing your confidence, I built the confidence transformation guide for every single one of you. It is so valuable. I could honestly charge money for it, but I want you guys to live the best possible life. So I'm giving it to you for free. It's down below in the link in the description. It's the first one. You can grab that now.